Welcome Primary 5, Mr. Ahmed is with you. Today we will continue in Unit 2, Concept 1, Lesson 4. We said before that the matter can change from one state to another by changing the temperature. Why the matter change from one state to another by changing the temperature? Because when we increase the temperature of the matter or decrease the temperature of the matter, that affected the space between the particles. And the space between the particles, it's one of the properties that make the matter solid or liquid or gas. Let's remember in solid the space between the particles are very close to each other. When we increase the temperature of solid like here in this ice cube, the movement of the particles will increase. So when we increase the temperature, the particles move more fast. And when they move more fast, they go away from each other. So the space between them increase. So the space change from very close to each other in ice cube and there is more space, so the ice change into liquid because the space of the particle between particles in liquid, it has more space. So when we increase the temperature, the particles move very fast. So the solid, which is the space where very close to each other, when the particles move very fast, they go away and the space increase. So the space change from very close into has more space. So more space it's the liquid state. So when ice change into water by increasing the temperature, it's called melting. What the ice is, which is state of matter? Yes, solid, and the water liquid. So melting is a change of matter from solid to liquid state. Okay, here we have a cup of ice and we put it in a very hot summer day. What will happen? The ice will melt into water. Why? Because we increase the temperature, and when we increase the temperature, particles move very fast and the space between the particles increase. Here, if we continue putting the water in very hot temperature in this hot summer day, the water will change into very good steam or water vapor, and this process is called evaporation. And the same happens in melting, happens in evaporation. The space between particles of water, they have more space. When we increase the temperature of the water, the particles move uh, more faster and the space between them increase, so the space changes from have more space to have a lot of space, so the liquid state change into gaseous state. Particles of matter. The size of particles depends on type of particles, like particles of solids is different from particles of liquid and different from particles of gases. So type of particles, the size of the particles depends on the type of particles and how the particles connect with each other. It depends on the space that tied or connect the particles with each other. So size of particles depend on type of particles, solid or liquid or gas, and how the particles connect with each other. Okay, if we take a small piece of matter and we put it under regular microscope that we have in our school in science lab, we can see the particles of matter. But to see the components of the particles, to see the particles of the matter consists of what? The particles are very, very small. To see the structure or inner structure of the particles, we need to make the particles bigger 1,000 times. And the electron microscope allow us to make the very small parts of matter, which is particles, bigger 1,000 times, so we can see what inside the particles and the structure of particles and what is the components that the particles contain. So to see the components of the particles, we need to use the electron microscope in this picture in front of you. Okay, how can we show the particles of matter exist? We have here two experiments. When we blew up the balloon and when we squeeze the balloon. When we blew up the balloon, we enter the gas or air inside the balloon, right? And we said before that the particles of gas move very freely, very quickly in all directions. So the particles of gas will move in all directions inside the balloon. And when they are moving very quickly, they will hit the balloon from inside. And the quickly movement or the faster movement of the particles of air make a force. This force make the balloon inflate or blow up. But when we squeeze the balloon here, when we squeeze the balloon, we decrease the space between the particles, and particles of gas become closer to each other. But when we squeeze the balloon more, the balloon will pop and particles of gas escape away to the air. So when we pollute the balloon, there's three things happen. Number one, particles of air inside the balloon will move very quickly. Number two, they will hit the balloon from inside. Number three, moving very quickly and hitting the balloon, both together make a force that make the balloon blow up or inflate. Number two, when we squeeze the balloon, we decrease the space between the particles and particles come close to each other. But when we squeeze it more hard, the balloon will pop and the air will escape from the balloon. Let's go to lesson number 5, which is talking about model. Model is a copy that is similar to real thing. As you can see, that's the model of the Earth. Can you see the Earth from outside? No. Why? Because we live inside the Earth. To see the Earth from outside, you need to go in a spaceship to the space, and it's very hard to happen or very difficult to happen. But we want to see the shape of the Earth, so we make a model of the Earth. Model is similar to the real shape of the Earth. That's the meaning of model. So model is the copy that's similar to real thing. Model can make very big things into small things we can use and see, and model can make very small things we need microscope to see to big things we can see it with our eye. For example, the model can represent very big things into small things like the model of the Earth. We will study 5 examples of models. Let's start with model number 1, which is the model of the Earth. The model of the Earth, as you can see in the picture, show us the shape of the Earth and how much Earth is covered with water. All this blue color is represent the water. So when we look to the Earth model, we can see how much water is the Earth is covered with. And also, all these green parts are represented the countries and its location. So, model of the Earth show us the shape of the Earth, how much the water cover the Earth, and the countries and its location. Number two, the solar system. Do you remember the solar system? The sun and the 8 planets that revolving around it. Can we see it? No, but we can make a model of it to see it. And this model show us the planet. We can see all the 8 planets at once, and we can compare between planets in a lot of things, such as see which one is the smallest, which one is biggest, which one is near to the sun, and which one is far away from the sun. So the model of solar system allow us to see the planets and compare between the planets. Number 3, model of germ. You remember the germ? Yes, we take in the properties of matter, which is the volume. Germs are very small matter that we cannot see by our naked eye, and we need microscope to see it. And to see the components of the germs, we need electron microscope. Very. So the germs are very small and we cannot see, but we can make a model of germ that allow us to see the shape of the germ and the components of the germ and understand how the germs spread from one person to another. So the model of the germ allow us to see the shape of the germs and see the components of the germs and how it spreads from one person to another. Model of the volcano. Can you see the volcano? Okay, no, but we can make a model of the volcano to show the shape of the volcano, and how the liquids come out in the real eruption. Eruption meaning the lava or the liquids come out from the volcano as you can see in this picture. So, model of the volcano show us the shape of the volcano and how the liquids come out from it. Model of airplane. Model of airplane allow us to know how the airplane flies up into the air. As we said before, model can represent very tiny thing into bigger size, like such as germ. Okay, in lesson number 3, we talk about the particles, the properties of particles, and we talk about particles in solid and liquid and gas in three points: the space between them, the energy of the particles, and the motion of the particles. Now we will take the fourth property of the particles, which is the arrangement. The particles of solids are well organized because they are very close to each other. But liquids, they are not well organized because the space between its particles or it has more space. But gases are not organized at all. So, because the gases have a lot of space between its particles. So solids are well organized, liquids are not well organized, but gases are not organized at all. We finished the concept and we finished the lesson. Thank you for listening. Miss Hiba Ahmed was with you.